Good day, everybody. I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. I'm a little bit late on the patch note train. Definitely a little bit behind. I haven't been playing a ton of League lately, and I've been a little sleep deprived lately, again, of course. But I am here a few days later to take a peek at the 10.18 patch notes and try to figure out what the impact on the game is going to be. I'm not looking at stat sites right now or anything. I haven't played the game to know what the impact so far has been, so these still are just my raw predictions about what I've seen. Now, I'm trying to improve the quality of these a little bit. I have actually read through the patch notes already before doing this video, so I should be a little better informed and should be able to get through these a little more quickly and can share my thoughts more reasonably. We're going to skip past these. I am going to remember that the thing they changed with Kale that isn't in the patch notes down below is the E cooldown. This Zac bug, I actually had someone experience this on PvE and it was miserable, so I'm glad to see it's fixed. The first thing on the patch notes is Ahri, and Ahri's a champion who's been largely absent from a lot of higher level games. For good reason, because this champ needs to snowball and doesn't really have the tools in her kit to do so. And it kind of sucks because Ahri's fun. People like Ahri a ton, but there's just no opportunity for her to shine. So what they've done is they gave her old passive back, where she's going to heal from stacking up her abilities, except it's even better now because this is going to proc just a flat heal on any source of damage. So before, when she had this passive, the best way to proc it would be get her Q through a full minion wave and hit a whole bunch of things and heal from every one of those. But now you can literally land your charm on someone and get the full heal, or one instance of Foxfire and get the full heal. So this just is a better passive than she used to have. Q is pretty straightforward now, but the big thing is W that's been changed, and I'm a big fan of having the least useful spell in a champion's kit get updated. It was great with Ezreal. Ahri's W is not a very good ability, and so now W is what she's getting her Fox or her move speed from, and it has an execute on minions and prioritizes those, which I'm now wondering, like, how impactful is the move speed, because the 40% move speed is definitely not bad, and is this going to be actually enough for her to navigate on the edge of a fight, even without her ultimate? Is this going to give her some more survivability? Because back when she could Q for move speed, it kind of did that a little bit, not really though. It's definitely going to make her farming more reliable, and having her farming be more reliable is a good thing. I'm fairly confident that Ahri struggles a little bit with having almost wave clear, and if she takes this, maybe dematerialize her, she just has wave clear again, and all of a sudden you become a much better mid champion with that. I'm hopeful that this actually does benefit Ahri, but it really comes down to how impactful the movement speed is and how impactful this is on her wave clear, because if W is a substantially better ability now, then I can see her becoming good and at least getting picked, if not meta. Probably won't become meta just from this, in my opinion, but having a champion who sucks become playable is always a good thing in my book. Ashe is one of the most dominant AD carries right now. She's losing a couple of AD, and the bolts from Amethyst's Q, okay, that's VFX, properly takes under consideration the future levels of Ranger's focus. What does this mean? Is she doing damage? Is it like, is she doing less damage from this bug fix? This AD nerf, it's gonna tickle Ashe. It's gonna be like, oh damn, now I have good utility and slightly less damage, which is fine. What does this mean? The wording is so unclear that I think Ashe is gonna continue to be good, just maybe not quite as dominant. I mean, Caitlyn's not getting nerfed here while Ashe is, so that's a little bit surprising. Oh, but Caitlyn got nerfed on the little micro patch where she lost some of her move speed. I forgot about that micro patch. I didn't do a video on that. Still, Ashe and Caitlyn are probably going to be very good still. Galio is strong in pro play. His Q lets him clear waves early without much risk. Okay, but as a longtime Galio player, I know there's some threshold in his tuning where his wave clear just becomes useless. Now, this is only 10 damage off Q. So I don't think this is going to be a big deal unless it hits that threshold. I actually don't know how close to that threshold he is at the moment. because he's either going to survive this change and, like, be still a good pick, or he's going to get gutted by this change. And that sounds like an extreme reaction for 10 damage, but seriously, there is this point if Q's numbers are not good enough where he just can no longer wave clear and he fucking sucks. I think with the current state of his passive, you know, no big deal here. He's gonna be totally fine. There's a lot of, like, very, very small changes. Here's another one. Like, nice. Jarvan gets 10 damage, too. Oh, in general, I see these changes. I'm like, this isn't that big a deal. This isn't that big a deal. The Kale stuff. This now has no cost. Kind of sucks if you're trying to stack him on a Mune, but I know that's a niche build. The missile speed going up so it's easier to farm, so you don't have to step up as early, or like you have a little more freedom in when you step up to the creep, which is good, adding some unpredictability here. The cooldown's also going down. She doesn't get mana restore on Q anymore. I think if E doesn't cost any mana, that's fine for farming. 20 extra mana on W kind of sucks for the support Kale builds, which I think are very fun. What's really the impact, though? She gets to farm a little more with the E cooldown, and I think that helps her early, but this doesn't seem that impactful from my perspective, though I'm not exactly a Kale or a top player. She's still going to struggle early. So she's going to get a couple more creeps here and there because she gets to be more... She has more freedom in when she has to step up to the creeps to last hit with E. Kog'Maw. Don't get why he's being nerfed. Until I remembered, like, the AP Kog'Maw. And I like AP Cog. It's definitely been rising in favor with the ratio buffs. But it's like they're talking about, like, we want to make him identify as a glass cannon marksman. It's like, so marksman is the overpowered build here? Because I find that extremely hard to believe. Health growth down, armor growth down. Okay. AP Cog is going to be fine. AP Cog is always like a million miles away. Why is he getting nerfed, really, is my question. Like, oh, let's make Kog'Maw squish here. I feel like this is going to suck for bot lane Cog, but AP Cog is fine. Misfortune, they're reverting some nerfs they gave her a while ago because she has definitely fallen out of the meta because, you know, Ashe, Caitlyn, Senna, and then Ezreal. Like they're all, those are the meta 80 carries. I guess Kallista's kind of in there and she's breaking the rules, but we're going to ignore Kallista for now because, like, meta in my head is like the real long-range marksmen that are strong in lane. Misfortune doesn't have the range exactly, but, you know, attack speed growth, bonus movement speed, this is nice stuff, and MF's been in some of the best states she's been in a long time over the course of this season. Not recently, but maybe we will see her come back. This one, okay. When I started reading this at first, I thought, oh, another, like, negligible damage buff that, you know, Jarvan's getting, Galio's getting. But then I realized it's like, it's +5, +10, +15, up to +25 at rank 5. It's like, Rumble's gonna be so obnoxious to lane against. He already is obnoxious to lane against, but, like, now that Flame Spitter's chunking a bit harder, I feel like this buff is going to make us see more Rumbles. Because, again, mid laners value wave clear. Especially into, I mean, like, we have a lot of TF right now mid. We have a lot of, I'm just trying to think of, like, some of the really meta stuff. At least in pro. Because there's, TF is, like, the big one that we see a ton. We're also seeing, we're not seeing as much Zoe because of TF. Yeah, no, I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry. This is really stupid. I should be able to think of this, but it's not my lane, so I have failed to come up with the information. Anyway, though, there are some relatively short-ranged mid laners going right now, and Rumble's possibly just going to walk all over them, which, I mean, per tick, the damage isn't up a ton, but I'm just scared of, like, an ability that comes out so often being stronger, and that's not even considering its ratio or anything. Because Rumble, when he's strong, is fucking obnoxious. Set. Okay, so let's just, like, we can agree that Set support is dead, right? I'm pretty sure he was dead a few patches ago. They're really hating tank Set. They do not like tank Set, so they're trying to get him into more of an AD focused position. That's fine. He's a juggernaut. I like it. Just gonna make sure this is a song I can actually play. I think it is. The war songs are good. It's shuffling now. This is huge. The ratio is going up to 50% bonus AD from like from 15%, which is substantial. Right punch is going to pack more of a punch. I should have thought my words through a little more carefully. Knuckle down though, the wording is a bit odd here. We have 0.01 of target's max health plus 1 or 2 or 3 percent per 100 total attack damage. Oh, per rank. Huh. Are they incentivizing Q max here? No, because you're not going to have 100 AD early in lane. So you're still going to want to level your W, but then by the time you finish leveling Q second, you get 1% max health damage and then an extra 3% max health damage at rank 5 per 100%, or like per 100 attack damage. You'll probably have 100 by the time you're level 13. That's total AD too. That's not bonus AD. Triforce doesn't give a ton of AD, even though it's an item he values. Is this impactful enough to see Set fundamentally shift his items around? There's no point in building Essence Reaver despite the massive amounts of AD. I wonder how this will impact his builds. Because this is substantially more damage. I just wonder if Set is going to succeed in lane, if he's able to lane, because Set was struggling in a lot of cases. I don't know a lot about the current state of the champion. I feel like this is large for damage if it doesn't come at the cost of substantial survivability. Because if Set's completely unable to survive, then how is he going to take advantage of these damage buffs? It sounds like they really want you to go WQE instead of WEQ, like I think some people were doing. Because this is going to shred some tanks, as was always its intention. Yeah, but they've shifted around its values, so to get the most out of the max health damage, you have to level it up. I wonder why they expressed it as two different forms of percentages in the same phrase, though. It's a little odd. Shen. Yeah, he was buffed. He was buffed pretty strongly. I was mentioning in one of my last videos when he got the buff that I don't know how impactful it would be to have, more shield values. But I was reminded that Shen can get his shield quite often in trades in the comments. And as it turns out, the impact on Shen was actually quite high. I've seen it myself. I've seen it. I've seen Shen have a lot of early game pressure in the top lane. So they're reducing this a little bit. I think that's fine. He was very powerful. And in his current state, I'm sure he'll be fine. Shyvana, this is a lot of words to say. We have made it more clear when E is hitting you, and we've also stopped its range from increase, or its radius from increasing, because why would it do that? So now it's just baseline a bit larger, but it doesn't scale. And it's just faster damage. Small buff to AD, Shyvana. I guess if it hits, yeah. Small nerf to AP, Shyvana. I don't know what they're thinking, because it's not gonna be. Like, they're saying it's roughly about 280. So it's roughly the rank 4 radius. Sure, it slightly nerfs your radius. Okay. Does that matter? Are we really that concerned about it? I don't think so. Twitch has some weird changes. They want to bring Twitch back up. I agree this champion is not very good. I haven't seen him ever. They've decided to buff him by increasing the AP ratio per stack on E. And I was thinking, that's a weird buff. That's a very strange buff. So once you're at 6 stacks, then E has a 200% AP ratio. The impact of that, I was wondering, I'm like, how does this do anything? But no, he actually does build Rageblade. Now, at the end of the day, Rageblade has 25 AP. Max stacks is going to give E an extra 50 damage. 50 damage could be decent, especially with, armor pen or ratios or, I'm going to sneeze now. It's I'm so distracted. My mind is everywhere. You know what I mean, though. It's like, it doesn't sound like a lot, but 50 damage can help, especially, like, because Rageblade has the percent armor pen on it, is what I meant to be saying. And then there's Spray and Pray, which now does more damage to its secondary targets. So it used to go down to 40% of its damage. Now it's minimum of 60% of its damage. So Twitch, when he actually scales, is going to be able to shred through more people. I think this is the more impactful buff. Can Twitch even survive against the meta 80 carries right now, though? And I want to say no. I think these buffs are going to help him later, but there's no way this helps him now. I think there's absolutely no way Twitch becomes a good champion now in the current state of League of Legends. But we should remember these buffs for later when the 80 carry meta starts changing. Xin Zhao. This is another one of those 10 damage buffs. But the ratio is nice. It makes his warrior spike stronger on specifically W. Xin Zhao's no longer the early game threat he used to be. Yeah, I literally didn't even think about the fact that I haven't seen a Xin Zhao in months until they mentioned this. So, you know, nice. Nice changes. Guardian. Okay, I made the really stupid claim that this rune is bad. And I was parroting some stuff that I'd heard from high elo streamers, and that's on me. I wasn't being responsible enough in actually understanding the position of the rune in previous nerfs. I played Rakan recently, took Guardian, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm getting value out of this rune. I'm still getting value on it on Taric. I'm still getting value on it on, like, enchanters and stuff. Mage supports is a little bit surprising, although its AP ratio on the shield, I wasn't even paying attention to the fact that it has this shield ratio. How embarrassing is that? Guardian is being nerfed on the AP ratio and the bonus health ratio. That's pretty fair. Rakan is still going to be totally fine. Rakan's building a ton of AP, and he has good AP ratios right now, so, you know, he's gonna still be alright with the AP ratio going down. The enchanters aren't going to care too much because they don't build a lot of AP, and they have the percent shield increase on their items, so they're fine with this. I think mages are hurting the most, so stop taking it on mages, I guess. Tank supports. I don't know, the Wardens still kind of like this, because most of the Wardens don't love going Aftershock. I think Taric definitely is being pushed further into Aftershock because he's personally squishier, and he's losing more and more value on Guardian as time goes on. I still like Guardian on Taric, but maybe he goes towards Aftershock a little more. I don't want to say after my previous perception of Guardian that the rune is dead, because I still think there's some very important cases to consider. It's still going to get a ton of value in defensive context, and we're seeing a lot of defensive context in the bot lane for the enchanters and stuff that are coming up. So, some champions are going to stop taking this rune, but I think overall it's still pretty good on most of its core users. That's really it. To wrap up, what I really think, I think Ahri has the potential to make more of a resurgence. I think Twitch is not going to be impacted now, but will be impacted later down the line. Good to see Shen. I want to see if Set can lane, then he will be very strong, I suspect. Or not, like, very strong might be a bit of an overstatement, but he will come back as a damage champion, as he was originally designed to be. I am concerned about Rumble, and we watch Galio in case this gets him to his useless threshold, which, so I think that's ultimately what we're paying attention to. Outside of that, there are changes. They certainly are things that have changed about the game. Yes, they are. So that's really it. Did I mention Shen? I think Shen's fine. Before I get into my usual, like, just constant over-talking, I'm gonna end off this video. We will see if my hypotheses are right. If I missed some critical information that'll help me understand what's going on, make sure to leave it in the patch notes. If some of my assessments were not correct and you'd like to have a discussion on it, again, comments are appreciated. So are likes and subscriptions. I'm a YouTuber now, so I have to say that. It's in the contract. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to love yourselves, respect each other, and I will see you all next time.